नमस्कार स्टूडेंट्स। आज हम एक बहुत महत्वपूर्ण और संगत विषय पर बात करने वाले हैं, दैट इज इन्वायरमेंटल एथिक्स। इन्वायरमेंटल एथिक्स इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एंड रिलेवेंट डिसिप्लिन। Nowadays we know that the whole world is facing various environmental problems, so therefore it become very important topic. Now if we want to deal this whole issue of environmental ethics, there are certain questions. These questions are something like that: why we have environmental issues? So therefore, and the answer of this question comes from various discipline. In fact, there are environmental studies where we generally try to find out that what are the issues and what are the causes. But from philosophical perspective, our issue is different. So therefore, when we talk about the environmental ethics, basically it is a philosophical inquiry of the environmental issues. In other words, from being a philosopher, we try to find out that how to look these issues, what are the problem involved, and how to take out the inquiries about these certain issues. Now, as I told you that this is a very important, significant issues, and that is why it is so. I told you because we live in an environment. हम एक पर्यावरण में रहते हैं। उस पर्यावरण में रहने के कारण हमारा पूरा जो जीवन है वो इन्वायरमेंट से जुड़ा हुआ है। और आज जिस तरीके से हम इन्वायरमेंटल प्रॉब्लम्स को फेस कर रहे हैं, तो ये दार्शनिकों ने इस समस्या को समझने की कोशिश करी कि व्हाई देयर आर सर्टेन इकोलॉजिकल क्राइसिस। कैन वी रियली से दैट दीज आर सिंपली scientific problems, or these are the problem of sciences or our day-to-day life? Then if this is so, then we can simply find out the answer from the science itself. But this problem is very deep-rooted problem, and this problem actually somehow engage with the human being itself. So therefore, if we want to study, or it somehow, because when we study something, our main concern is that we want to resolve the issue as well. So if we want to really resolve the issue of environmental ethics, then we have to look beyond the science as well. So then we as a philosopher try to find out the root cause of the problems. We might think that suppose there is air pollution, and we find out that, or if you go to a scientist, what scientist will say? Scientist will simply say that because there are so many motor vehicles, there are factories, there are many gases coming out which is very harmful to the environment or the human beings itself. So therefore, there is an answer of this question from a scientific perspective. But because we are talking about the philosophy, philosopher look these problems very different perspective. Now question is that how to look and how philosopher look at this problem of environmental crisis. And if we know the problem, we know the causes of the problem, then then only we can solve the problem as well. So therefore, the first we should understand the nature of the problem, and philosophize these issues. It means that a philosopher look at the problem, the root cause of the problem, so that we can really resolve this issue. So therefore, when we talk about environmental ethics, it is all about philosophical inquiry. हम दर्शन शास्त्री के दृष्टि से हम ये देखना चाहते हैं कि पर्यावरण जो हमारे सामने समस्याएं है, आखिर उसका कारण क्या है। तो हम जब फिलॉसफी की तरीके से देखते हैं, तो हम ये देखते हैं कि इसका संबंध बेसिकली हमारा जो बिहेवियर है, हाउ वी लुक एट द इन्वायरमेंट, हाउ वी इंटरेक्ट विद द इन्वायरमेंट, दैट इज द बेसिक इश्यूज. एंड हियर बेसिकली व्हेन वी इंटरेक्ट विद समथिंग, देन द इशू ऑफ एथिक्स कम्स. अब देखिए जिस तरीके से मानव एक दूसरे के साथ में इंटरेक्ट करते हैं, हम एक दूसरे के साथ व्यवहार करते हैं, उसके कुछ सर्टेन प्रिंसिपल्स है, व्हाट इज राइट, व्हाट इज रॉन्ग, व्हाट इज ट्रू, व्हाट इज फॉल्स, एंड लेकिन दैट वे we try to find out that which behavior is good behavior, which behavior is bad behavior. When we talk to each other, if suppose when we behave to someone, why we say that don't cheat others? There we are doing the ethics, and we want to give some value judgment about the human behavior. And that is, if you really try to understand that ethics, that basic question of ethics is that how we should how to behave. So therefore the question of ethics is कि हम कैसे समाज में रहे, हम कैसे अपना कार्य करें, हम दूसरे के साथ में किस तरीके से व्यवहार करें. ये जो प्रश्न है, ये एथिक्स का प्रश्न है. लेकिन अब आप देखोगे जब हम आपस में व्यवहार करते हैं, तो हम सिर्फ मानव आपस में व्यवहार नहीं करते, उसके लिए हम इन्वायरमेंट से, हम प्रकृति के साथ में व्यवहार करते हैं। तो इन्वायरमेंटल एथिक्स जो है पूरा दार्शनिक दृष्टि से जब हम बात करते हैं तो हमारा जो कंसर्न है वो ये है कि मानव का जो व्यवहार है वो प्रकृति के साथ में किस तरीके का हो। वो जो व्यवहार है उस व्यवहार को हम एक दार्शनिक दृष्टि से, एक एथिकल दृष्टि से ये चेक करना चाहते हैं, हम ये देखना चाहते हैं कि व्हेन आवर एक्शन इज राइट एंड व्हेन आवर एक्शन इज wrong. So therefore, if we really want to understand philosophically these issues, it is very important first we should understand what is ethics all about. So what do we do in ethics? So if we go through this subject, the ethics, basically you look at that, what is the meaning of ethics? How we define the ethics? So basically when we look at the term, the ethics, this term came from basically ethics, and in fact we use the two terms, ethics and morality. If we go to the etymology of these words, then interestingly the meaning of these two words are same. The ethics came from the word ethos, likewise morality came from the word basically mores. The meaning of these two root words is actually habit, action. So they have conduct in fact. So therefore, what is ethics? Ethics is the, you can say, science of human action. हम क्या करते हैं एथिक्स में? हम एथिक्स में मूल रूप से मानव व्यवहार का मूल्यांकन करते हैं कि कौन सा मानव का कार्य है, कौन सा मानव का कृत्य, मानव कृत्य उचित है, कौन मानव कृत्य अनुचित है। ये जो पूरा मामला है, मामला पूरा एथिक्स का है। इसी तरीके से एथिक्स को जो है मूल रूप से तीन ब्रांचेज या तीन शाखाओं में हम बांटते हैं बेसिकली। एक तरफ हम डिस्क्रिप्टिव एथिक्स की बात करते हैं, दूसरा जो ब्रांच है इसकी हम नॉर्मेटिव एथिक्स बोलते हैं, और तीसरे अप्लाइड एथिक्स हम बोलते हैं। तो बेसिकली जहां डिस्क्रिप्टिव एथिक्स basically is talking about the history of the morality, moral norms. It try to provide us the map of the moral concern of the many communities, societies. Likewise, when we come to the normative ethics, in normative ethics, basically we try to evaluate the concerned theories. Likewise, again we have applied ethics. If we look at the applied ethics, this is a comparatively new discipline. This discipline or the branch of ethics emerged after 1950s basically. Why it comes? Because we have just scientific revolution, then we have industrial revolution. By that scientific and industrial revolution, we have modern, we just faced with the modernity. With that, around 1950s, human beings started to face environmental problems. There are many environmental problems. हमने अपना पूरा जो वायुमंडल था वो नष्ट कर दिया, हमारी हवाएं खराब हो गई, और उसके अनेक कारण हमारे पास में है। जैसे कि हमने ग्रीन हाउस गैस हमारे पास में है, ग्लोबल वार्मिंग उसका परिणाम हमारे सामने है। हमने पूरा का पूरा पानी अपना गंदा कर दिया, हमारा जो है सोयल कंटेमिनेशन के हमारे सामने समस्याएं हैं। सो द क्वेश्चन इज देयर रेंज ऑफ इकोलॉजिकल प्रॉब्लम्स। व्हेन around 1950s human beings started to look at face these problems, then you will read about that, what is the solution of this problem, how we can solve this problem. So in that way philosophy came in the field, and philosopher tried to analyze these problems, and philosopher find out that basically the causes of the environmental problem or ecological crisis is philosophical. अब चूंकि कारण philosophical है, कारण दार्शनिक है, तो इसीलिए समाधान भी दार्शनिक दृष्टि से ही हो सकता है। ये एक दार्शनिक मानता है। और इस पूरे प्रयास में, जैसे कि टॉपिक जहां तक बात है इन्वायरमेंटल एथिक्स टॉपिक है, लेकिन इसका मतलब ये कतई नहीं है कि इन्वायरमेंटल एथिक्स में वी ओनली टॉक अबाउट एथिक्स। बेसिकली इफ वी टॉक इस प्योर फिलोसॉफिकल सेंस, इट इज ए मेटाफिजिकल इंक्वायरी। ये एक मेटाफिजिकल इंक्वायरी है। मेटाफिजिकल इंक्वायरी अबाउट व्हाट? It is the metaphysical inquiry about the nature of value, the status of human being, status of nature. मानव क्या है, उसका अर्थ क्या है, प्रकृति क्या है, उसका अर्थ क्या है, how they interact, and what are they, or in fact in a very interesting question, or the most pertinent and important question of ecological ethics is that when a person interact with the nature, how we evaluate that action. हम मानव के कृत्य का, जैसे मानव जब मानव के साथ में व्यवहार करता है तो हम उसके एक्शन का मूल्यांकन करते हैं। इसी तरीके से जब मानव प्रकृति के साथ में जब मानव प्रकृति के साथ में इंटरेक्शन करता है तो हम उसका भी मूल्यांकन करते हैं कि जो कार्य, जो एक्शन मानव कर रहा है प्रकृति के साथ में, वो एक उचित कार्य है, वो उचित का एक्शन है, या वो बेसिकली उचित कार्य नहीं है. So basically, when we talk about this whole environment ethics, it is all about to have a metaphysical inquiry about the nature of value, status of human, and status of nature. Throughout this inquiry, we can proceed from two perspectives. One perspective is you can say that to know that why there is ecological problem. And the second perspective is that what is the solution. When we come to, we talk about the first perspective, that what are the causes, then we have two way of, again, we have two way of inquiry. One way is that, and in fact, interestingly, when this whole issue comes, the first issue philosopher discuss is that what is the religion role within these whole environmental problems. And many philosophers try to understand, and they come out with the theory that basically this whole the whole religious practices also give certain kind of ideological, you can say, backup, or ideological, you can say, just the tools to exploit this nature. Leon White was the first person who wrote an article, very fantastic article about that, the historical root of our ecological crisis. There Leon White actually criticized or analyzed the Christianity, that what is the role of Christianity in creating ecological problems. So metaphysically, Leon White tried to say that Christianity theory of Genesis, where it somehow give a dominant role to human beings. It says that the nature was created for the benefit of the human beings. So therefore, humans have the right to utilize the whole resources of nature. And likewise, other religious traditions also was inquired about that. But basically, and even Indian culture also, we try about Indian philosophy, Indian religion, how it deal with the ecological problem, how we look at the nature, likewise. So the problem of the Christianity was discussed first Leon White, and after that many articles came in the same line. But obviously, when we have some thoroughly understanding, we have some different perspective of this whole issue also. There are certain scholars, they told that we cannot put the whole blame to the Christianity, and it is a one-sided story. But rather, there is another perspective. In that perspective, there is a concept of stewardship, that human being has the right to utilize, but it should be a judicious utilization. So therefore, we cannot simply put the blame of Christianity. So therefore, this debate goes on. So, but the point is that the first perspective talk about the religious tradition, and in that way, some ecological philosopher give the blame to the religious tradition, and that is basically Christianity. Now, the second perspective, when you talk about it, it's more philosophical perspective, that how the history of philosophy, and how in the various philosophers in history, they have look upon the nature. So in that way, the whole modern philosophy has been given the blame to the ecological crisis. It is sad, कहा जाता है कि पूरा जो पश्चिम जगत का जिस तरीके से एक एम्पेरिकल मेथड का इन्वेंशन हुआ, एक प्रैक्टिकल फिलॉसफी का पूरा इन्वेंशन हुआ, तो वहां पे जिस तरीके से फिलॉसफी अप्लाई की गई ह्यूमन नेचर को समझने में, वो एक पूर्ण रूप से एक अगेंस्ट नेचर जाती है. और जो ये माना जाता है, इस पूरी परंपरा में ये माना गया कि जो पश्चिम दर्शन है, वो पश्चिमी दर्शन मूल रूप से मानव केंद्रित दर्शन है. ये मानव केंद्रित दर्शन, जिसको हम अंग्रेजी में एंथ्रोपोसेंट्रिज्म कहा गया. सो देयरफॉर, अकॉर्डिंग टू दिस होल इंक्वायरी, द फोकस वाज गिवन that how the whole Western philosophy has looked upon or metaphysically look at these categories like human and nature. And it was find out that this whole universe, and you know that one of the important tasks of philosophy is to explain the universe, that what is this and what is the nature, how we interact, what are the components, and all. So therefore, with this tradition, we find out that basically the Western philosophy look at this human and nature issue from human perspective. They explain its philosophy from human-centric point of view, and that is called anthropocentric view, with this anthropocentric view, we say that this whole issue, the anthropocentric view, says that the human or the man is the center of this universe. The human being is the center. If this is the center, then obviously all the concept, all the understanding of universe come from the human beings. And from ethically speaking, what is the result? The result is that कि जो मानव है, चूंकि पूरा जो यूनिवर्स की जो व्याख्या है वो हम मानव केंद्रित दृष्टि से कर रहे हैं, तो इसलिए मानव मूल रूप से केंद्र में आता है, और मानव के केंद्र में आने के कारण जितना भी वैल्यू डिस्कोर्स है, जो हम वैल्यू को डिफाइन करते हैं, तो हम मानव के पर्सपेक्टिव से डिफाइन करते हैं। अब चूंकि वैल्यू, पूरा वैल्यू सिस्टम मानव के सेंटर के हिसाब से डिफाइन होता है, देन ऑटोमेटिकली द नेचर डिडंट गेट दैट एग्जैक्ट प्लेस एक्चुअली. What we supposed to do? We supposed to do that. The inquiry should not be from man perspective, human perspective only, but from anthropocentric view. What we did, we actually given such kind of ethics which talk about the human beings only. That is why if you look at the nature of ethics, in nature of ethics, as in my early part, I told you that basically when we talk about ethics, what we say that human beings interact with the human beings, other fellow human beings, and for that we have certain moral theories. हम कुछ मूल्यों की बात करते हैं, हम कुछ नैतिक सिद्धांतों की बात करते हैं, और उस पूरे मानव के साथ के व्यवहार को नैतिक दृष्टि से हम उसका मूल्यांकन करते हैं. हम बोलते हैं कि चीटिंग करना बुरा है, अनुचित है, झूठ बोलना पाप है. व्हाट इट मीन्स? हम झूठ किसके साथ में बोलते हैं? हम झूठ मानव के साथ में बोलते हैं, हम धोखा मानव को देते हैं. सो देयरफॉर हियर वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट एथिक्स व्हिच इज बेसिकली बेस्ड अपॉन ह्यूमन, एंड विद इन दिस whole area nature has no place. And here problem comes actually. If all the value system based upon human being, then human being is the sole agent of morality. Morality का जो कंसर्न है, वैल्यू जजमेंट जो है, वो सिर्फ मानव के ऊपर है, मानव के साथ व्यवहार करते हुए है, और यही हम एंथ्रोपोसेंट्रिक व्यू हम बोलते हैं. इनफैक्ट इसी एंथ्रोपोसेंट्रिक व्यू की वजह से हमने जो वैल्यू में भी कैटेगराइजेशन कर दिया. हमने बोला कि देयर आर टू टाइप्स ऑफ वैल्यूज, वन इज इंट्रिंसिक वैल्यू एंड अदर वन इज एक्सट्रिंसिक वैल्यू. नाउ क्वेश्चन इज व्हाट इज इंट्रिंसिक वैल्यू एंड व्हाट इज एक्सट्रिंसिक वैल्यू? इंट्रिंसिक वैल्यू is basically when a thing has value in its own, then we say that the thing has intrinsic value. On the other hand, extrinsic value means that when something is useful or something has the value in comparison to the others, then we call that thing has extrinsic value. Let's understand this issue with some examples. Like when we talk about the human, we never says that human being can be used by other human beings. So therefore we have Immanuel Kant principles, kingdom of end. Everyone is, you can say that aim, no one can be the means. So therefore this whole value system, when we talk about that we are basically intrinsic value, we says that only human beings have intrinsic value. And what about the rest things like nature? पूरा जो ये एंथ्रोपोसेंट्रिक व्यू है एथिक्स का, इसमें हम पाते हैं कि मूल्य सिर्फ मानव को दिया जाता है, मानव का ही मूल्य है, इंट्रिंसिक मूल्य है, अपने आप में जो साध्य है वो मानव है. इसलिए हम उसका कोई भी व्यक्ति उसका उपयोग अपने स्वार्थ के लिए उपयोग नहीं कर सकता. लेकिन जब हम एक्सट्रिंसिक वैल्यू की बात करते हैं, लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल सपोज देयर इज ए पेन, एंड व्हाई पेन इज यूजफुल? द यूजफुलनेस और द वैल्यू ऑफ ए पेन is to give a good writing. And who wrote that? It's basically human being. So human being writes something and he judges whether some pen is good or some pen is bad. But we never says that. We never apply these kind of categories when we analyze, when we evaluate human being. So therefore, extrinsic value means when things have value to others from the other's perspective. So therefore all the material things like pen, I told you, copy, and you take the example of any material things, all of these things valuable because human beings thinks that they are valuable. For example, fruits. How we judge that? For example, apple. How we say that some apple is good or bad? हम ये देखते हैं कि अगर एप्पल का जो काम है, जो हमने निर्धारित किया है, हमको न्यूट्रिशन देता है, हमारे लिए एनर्जी देता है, then that is good. So, but if suppose the moment we find out that apple is rotten, we don't eat it. Why? Because we consider that it is not valuable to us. So therefore we throw it out. So what it means? That apple have value, but it has a value of extrinsic nature. Actually, it's extrinsic value. So this dichotomy of the value, intrinsic and extrinsic, clearly give a demarcation line or the dividing line between human versus rest. And that is basically anthropocentric view. Because why it is anthropocentric again? Because it talk about the human. We simply talk about the value, we talk about the value system from human perspective, and in that value system, nature has no place. And automatically, if suppose human being has intrinsic value, then we find out that the whole nature is valuable, but that is valuable to fulfill the need of human beings. So therefore, we create a dichotomy, we create a divide between, or you can say in the midway of the human and nature. On one hand, we have human, on the other hand, we have nature. And again, because it's this value, this kind of value system, give a, you can say that, a full hand to the human being to exploit, to use nature. Because when a person, suppose कोई व्यक्ति अगर नेचर का एक्सप्लॉयटेशन करता है, वो अपने फायदे के लिए यूज करता है. इनफैक्ट होल द डेवलपमेंट वी सेज दैट डेवलपमेंट इज बेस्ड अपॉन द एक्सप्लॉयटेशन ऑफ द nature. If you look at that, whether it is Francis Bacon and all, what was their empirical method? From science perspective, it is being said that knowledge means to understand the nature, and progress means to control nature. So therefore, that kind of whole notion about the nature, where we find out that the progress means exploit nature. And why it is so? Because we have developed such kind of value paradigm, of such kind of value system, where only human beings place value. Actually, it only consists value, and nature is automatically become secondary, human become the primary. So therefore, being human, it gives the dominating role or dominating power to human, and it says that human can exploit nature. So therefore, this is the anthropocentric view, and we consider, and the philosophy it's to be considered that anthropocentric view is the basic cause of, philosophical cause of environmental problems. Now, though this anthropocentric view is not beyond the criticism. Later, many philosophers even criticized this whole anthropocentric view, and by the result was that in fact there are again people just distinguish two types of anthropocentrism, like one is weak anthropocentrism and other one is strong anthropocentrism. But we will not go in that detail now. So in other words, when we find out that, or philosophers find out that the root cause of the ecological crisis is anthropocentric view, which was given earlier by the religion, then was propagated by the Western philosophy as the root cause of the problem. Now, positive is that what is the solution? The solution from the environmental ethics perspective is that we need to change this approach of anthropocentrism. It means we need to develop a new system of value, and that value, if we change that perspective, then we come to an alternative model, or we can say the alternative theory, philosophical theory or environmental ethical theory, that is known as ecocentric theory or ecocentrism basically. Contrast to the anthropocentrism, ecocentrism says that human being and nature, there is not, actually there is no, we cannot say that no one is superior, no one is inferior. Why? Because in nature, both of the things stay together, human beings and nature interact to each other, and we operate in a web. We are interconnected, interrelated. If we are interconnected, interrelated, then actually we cannot say that something is superior and another is inferior. It try to give a equality between human and nature. It's talk about that the value system, anthropocentric value system is problematic. So what is the way? We have to change this approach. We change the approach of environment, the anthropocentric approach. Then we come to the ecological approach, where we consider that we are together, we are the same component, we have the equally important feature of this whole universe. So therefore, we cannot say that human is superior and the nature is inferior. In fact, can we live without the nature? Can we talk about that, or can we operate without the nature? We operate in the nature. We interact with the nature. So therefore, environmental ethics try to evaluate human action which is related to nature. When we suppose interact with the nature, we want to give some values. We want to change the anthropocentric view. We want to say that, sorry, this intrinsic and extrinsic value system is problematic, and we have to look this whole issue from a different perspective. So therefore, and that perspective is ecocentrism. Now, why it is ecocentrism? It is because this whole ecocentrism take the methodological input from the ecology. What ecology says that? Ecology says that all the components of an ecosystem are interrelated. And if they are interrelated and interconnected, so therefore we cannot create the dichotomy. We cannot say that something is superior and another is inferior. So therefore, within this universe, human and this whole ecosystem or the ecology of the universe is live together. हम सब एक दूसरे से जुड़े हुए हैं, हम सब इंटररिलेटेड हैं. इसीलिए हम अगर एंथ्रोपोसेंट्रिक व्यू से प्रकृति का शोषण करेंगे तो इकोलॉजिकल प्रॉब्लम आएगी. हल एक है दार्शनिक के हिसाब से कि हम पूरा वैल्यू सिस्टम बदलें, हम इकोसेंट्रिक अप्रोच लेकर के आए और एक रेस्पेक्ट का रिलेशन प्रकृति के साथ में हम डेवलप करें. तब हम कहीं जाकर के अपना जो इकोलॉजिकल क्राइसिस है उससे हम कम से कम हम उससे खत्म भी ना कर पाए तो कम से कम उसको हम कम कर सकते हैं और इस पूरी प्रकृति को बहुत ज्यादा सुंदर और न्यायोचित बना सकते हैं. थैंक यू.